Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. News on the session, we do have 9:30 news. Low impact natural gas. And that's it for the day. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? Hopefully we have a decent day today. I did yesterday do what I said I was gonna do and look at all the trade examples I had of like pullbacks that push like the previous reversal bar created a new low, and I'm trying to push going back towards that. I didn't see any patterns that I like. So for the most part, if we're pushing new highs and lows, I just can't do anything until we choose to kind of like, create some structure below or above it. Oh, so inventory's at 9, but that's just like, really? How come that's not? What the hell? What the hell? What's that on? Financial juice? Econo day? Got you. I don't think I've ever seen this calendar before. I've always heard of Forex Factory, Financial Juice, and Investing.com. Excuse me. I see. Okay. I see. Thank you for letting me know about that one, because I have never heard of that one. Has all the FOMC speakers. Okay. Good morning, New. How are you this morning? Yeah, that's a nice additional resource for sure. Thank you for that. The other thing with the taking counter trend divergence off the new highs and lows, I have to stay away from that too right now, because I don't really see anything I like there either. So it's okay. Days like that, I'm just gonna have to treat it just like I do when we're trading, continuing to trade inside of the consolidation zone. I just have to be patient and hope that we don't do this literally all day. Create a new low, pull back, create a new low. I just have to hope that we don't do that. And if we do, it'll just be a no trade day like it was on Tuesday. But I'd rather be patient and be flat or take no trades at all or break even or something than be red, especially if I just feel like I don't have enough data to support whatever it is, whatever's going on in the market at the time. So we'll just keep it that way. It's cool. It doesn't do anything for Forex Factory. Doesn't even list it. That makes sense as well, Amelia. Let's see. I forgot to check something. Hold on, you guys. What's up with my internet? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why does my Chrome do this? Like, I'm on the Financial Juice website, but I literally can't see anything. Oh, there we go. I had to reload it like 7 times. All right, sorry. Just continuing to push new lows. Just sucks because I really did try to look last night to see like the counter trend divergence moves. The results are different if the reversal bar creates a new low versus when it doesn't, new high or low versus when it doesn't. It's not the same. And it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because it's essentially it's just like watching people who are trying to catch a falling knife, or people, we're continuing to push new highs and people are constantly trying to sell. So it kind of makes sense why the order flow is a little bit different. And then also, even though obviously, for the most part, most of the time when we are pushing new lows, at least, not necessarily new highs, because, we're continuing to create new highs and all-time highs or whatever. But on the days where we are creating new highs and it's not an all-time high, there obviously is some kind of previous data, like there's previous support and or resistance. However, when it comes to support and resistance from data created from that day, there is none, because this is a brand new low for the day. So I think that could possibly be why I can't find good combination patterns so far, and what would work long term in regards to what volume and order flow patterns work really well to give me entries. So it's fine. I'm not too bothered. I know how to be patient. Flat is better than red. Break even is better than red. So just got to get what the market gives and not force it. But I do hope that eventually the data shows me something, because it's kind of hard to especially if it's a nice move down or up that creates a new higher low, and then that reversal bar, man, sometimes the reversal bar can push like 80 ticks in the opposite direction, and there's nothing I could do about it because it's not a consistent pattern that will paint those really good moves. At least I haven't figured it out yet. But what I will say is most of the time that's when I can tell the reversal is coming to where like, okay, now it's going to be about time that I can actually get into trades. Kind of like yesterday. We continued to push new highs, push new highs, push new highs. And then we had a decent sell off. We had the counter trend pullback, which I wasn't interested in because I didn't really like the order flow at the time. And then we pushed down some more, and then I was able to get into that divergence going with the trend that was the buy off of the support levels. So really, I'm just waiting for the decent size pullbacks or the decent pushes up from the new lows that will kind of create the counter trend structure to give me room away from the new low so that I can take a trade. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. So we will just be patient. I am so my plans right now, I'm less than $1,000 away from passing this Tradeify account. My plans from there is to try to get to a payout on it, but also probably trade one of my remaining Apex accounts. Remember, I do still have two 50K Apex PAs left. I don't want to trade both of them right now. I really just want to trade one PA from each of the three companies and try to get to a payout on them, and then start to trade. If I already have multiple PAs with a company, then start to trade the additional account after a payout, and also use a portion of the payout money. I always use like a percentage of the payout money to purchase more accounts and kind of go from there. Did this create a new low? It did not. So that's kind of the plan at the moment. All right, I'm really kind of wanting to see us kind of push beyond the middle pivot level, sell off from it, and like reverse up from there. I'm not really interested in this sale because of there being a double bottom down there. The double bottom right here. Based on what I would need volume and order flow to look like, I'm just not interested unless we change to an uptrend right here, which is what it looks like it might do. I'm doing well. I actually got some pretty decent sleep. Lately, I've actually been falling asleep like on top of my covers with none of my fans on for white noise, and surprisingly I've been staying asleep because most of the time if I don't have white noise, I hear everything, like everything. I can hear a cricket chirping, I can hear birds chirping outside, I hear literally everything. So I've been getting some good sleep though, surprisingly, which I'm very happy about. Don't get me wrong, because I'm very happy about that. But yeah, it's been kind of nice. I'm surprised I was able to fall asleep though, because yesterday I did take a pretty late nap. Oh, almost read that wrong. All right, we've created too much volume in this swing. That double bottom swing was only 416. So that's a pretty heavy attempt. 498 doesn't sound like a lot of volume, but it's a pretty heavy attempt from the sellers compared to the last time the sellers tried to push through. So, and you can see we were stalling here for quite some time. 1300 volume, and the highest volume coming down was just 419. So it's a pretty big battle happening right now between the buyers and sellers. You sleep with earplugs? You know, when did I try to sleep with earplugs? I think it was when I was on a travel nurse assignment in Springfield, Missouri. I used to sleep with earplugs, and that's because in one of the Airbnbs I stayed in, there was an elementary school that was right there, and oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah, I definitely needed to. Oh man. That didn't copy. It happened so quick. See, that was a 2-second trade. It happened so quick it didn't even copy or get filled into my uh follower accounts. But yeah, I used to have to sleep with earplugs because the elementary school was right there and I worked overnight. So, you know, when I'm getting off in the morning, they're just getting to school. And literally, I promise y'all, there was some kind of recess from the time that school bell rang to the time it rang again in the, you know, early afternoon. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. Y'all, that was a pretty nice sell off. It dropped 100 ticks from my entry, then reversed 40 ticks, and then dropped another, well, from this reversal bar, dropped another 32 ticks from there. Pretty nice sell. Pretty nice. It's kind of one of the perfect sales that I'm looking for when volume is low on the counter trend divergence compared to the previous move. Delta was efficient. It was a continuation because the sellers were in control. In the point of control, I'm going for a sell. I mean, that was just like textbook, get into the trade, please. But yeah, for me, white noise works better, especially because I'm like allergic to different types of latexes and silicones. So I don't really like things in my ears like that. And then I have seborrheic dermatitis, which mainly affects my scalp, but it also affects my ears. So like I clean and exfoliate my ears every day, but then I also have to make sure not only do I put some kind of like moisturizer on and like in them, but I also have to use Vaseline on top of it. Um yeah, my ears are just extremely sensitive to anything being in them. So that's kind of I need to see when I purchase these headphones because I really think I'm going to take them back and get the bone conductor version because I just don't like it. As much as they try to tell me like the quality of the sound is better and all these other things, I just don't like that they sit literally here instead of sitting there. I don't like it. I don't. All right, let's see. We might try to push new lows. Oh man, look at my trade on the 5-minute chart. What a trade. How nice. How nice, how nice. We're too close to the red level right there, so I'm not really interested in buying right there. Let's see, that's about 4 points. Haven't taken a trade yet? Besides the open drive, right? Or you didn't even take the open drive this morning? Damn it. That might take off on me. Oh, it didn't. Oh, there you go. I was about to move the take profit to the VWAP because I didn't know if we had enough steam to push through there, but we did, so it worked out. All right, we did just push a new low, so I don't want to sell going into the new low. So I'll just wait, see what else we can get. Hey, oh, I forgot one of those accounts I'm multiplying because it renews next week. Although I probably only have 3 more trading days after today. I'm gonna up the ante on it a little bit more. Not really. Yeah, if it blows, it blows. It's fine. What a push up. A nice push up too. Stayed on the open. Okay. Just gonna document that in the journal. Perfect, perfect. What made you hesitate today? What did you see on the charts that made you hesitate taking the trade? I didn't even look to see what the open looked like today. Let's see. What's the range of that? About 21 points. Oh, no. Wait, where's the 1 minute chart? No. 22 points. Oh, I'm glad I just looked. We are inside of the change zone right now. So I'm going to sit out until we break on either side. I did go ahead and change the fill of my do not trade zone to red because sometimes I get it confused with the opening range, the 30-minute open range automatic zone that paints or whatever, because the inside of that one is gold as well. So I went ahead and made this red. Plus it'll make it easier for, like, I see red on my chart. It's not like don't trade right now kind of thing. Although the criteria was aligned, that was the issue. Although I have another criteria I may need to consider going forward. See? And the cool thing about an open trade is very, well, depending on how mechanical it is very, you could literally look for that criteria, 3 months back pretty quickly, even just 30 days worth of data pretty quickly. So you'll be able to see if that's something that you need to pay attention to long term. Six, 4. Point of control move. That's not where I want it to be. we just changed to a trap. That's not what I wanted. Point of control just changed to buyers being in control there, and that is not what I wanted. And we've also stalled here for too long now. Haven't found a lot of I've only found one volume and order flow combination that I like. When you see we have 1.2k volume in that swing up, the last one was 618. So when there's higher volume in the swing than the previous one on trend pullbacks, there's really only one volume and order flow combination that I like so far. And basically volume has to stay low, point of control needs to stay in the wick, and then it needs to be a continuation, not a trap. And delta needs to be efficient. Those are like the 3 criteria. Very mechanical, but I'm still using discretion. Yeah, perhaps. No discretion, I need to do some back testing, which is hard because everything happens in that 1 minute candle. It does. It does. Well, I would say, depending on what you're trying to test mechanically, even though so much happens in the 1 minute candle, you can always just have, this is what I used to do sometimes when I traded on time-based charts. And even with Renko, sometimes I have to go to a 1 second chart to see, like, okay, let's say I'm trying to figure out what the result of this trade was. Now, you know, I can see inside of the bar on, the King Renkos, right? However, there are times when I can't tell if price touched my break-even level and then reversed back to the entry and then came down and hit the TP, or if it's because of how the Renko bar paints on that line. So there are some times where I have to go to a 1 second chart with the same risk to reward tool drawn just to see, okay, second by second, what happened. So that might be what you have to possibly do, is to put a 1 second chart next to your 1 minute chart so you can see all the happenings during that 1 minute. That's a possibility. Let's see, are we going to push back down and clear it or no? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so we're back in the consolidation zone. If you guys want to see kind of the overall view of it. So we started the sell up here, counter trend divergence, had a nice push down, turned into a downtrend. I got into a second sell here. We created a new low, pushed off of VWAP back into the consolidation zone where we changed to a downtrend and we're kind of rejecting it. We pushed back into it there, tried to push out, push back into it, and now we're still kind of back in it. So just like before, just have to wait for it to decide which way it's gonna go before I trade again. Let's kind of scroll back and see if there's any kind of. So we don't have a lot of, well, at least in the last 3 days of data that's on my charts, we haven't had too much activity in this area, although we had a little bit. So we used it as support. That's at 4 o'clock this morning. And it looks like yesterday, this is kind of where we created a little bit of consolidation, and you can see it's drawn perfectly, basically. Bottom, top, bottom. Then we pushed out of it. This was towards the end of the session. So we pushed into this zone at 12:50 yesterday afternoon. And in the last three, like I said, it's just 3 days of data on my chart. So aside from those couple of bounces, we haven't spent a lot of time here. So let's see if we can kind of push either way. We will see. Zoom back in. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. No. No, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty good. I was saying earlier that I did kind of do like the background work yesterday, and what I was saying with you know, taking counter trend divergence when we're creating new lows like here. So if you guys did not know, new lows and highs on my chart are the upside down, or if it's creating new highs, it's the triangles, basically the triangles at the edges. So I did look at the counter trend divergence that happened, that are created after new highs and lows, and I just cannot find consistent patterns. So much so that patterns that work really well for counter trend divergence, if it's created a new lower high, it doesn't work the same way, which I'm not technically really surprised because like I was saying earlier, you know, even though as long as we're not pushing all-time highs, there's some kind of data there. There's some kind of support or resistance from previous days. For me, what it seems like is that because of the way that I'm scalping, most of the time, whatever is going on, it needs to kind of be reacting at a level that has already been touched that day, not from a day ago, 5 days ago, you know, things like that. So, yeah, it looks like on days where we're pushing new highs and lows, I'm just not going to be able to trade until we push far enough to create some kind of microstructure away from it. Same thing with if we create a new low, we pull back, and me trying to take that sell going back towards that brand new low that was just painted. I might have found one pattern that's halfway decent, but not to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm so convinced, let's do it. And I'm not all the way mad about it, because honestly, even if I'm watching somebody that's trading on a time-based chart, right? Yes, I'm trading order flow and I'm using volume and all these different things or whatever that should be able to sometimes tell me if that reversal is happening. It's basically like trying to catch a falling knife, or if the market is continuing to push all-time highs, or even if it's not all-time highs, the market's trying to continue to push highs. We've gone up 100 points and you want to take a sell. Now, if I find a consistent pattern that works, then it is what it is. But, you know, it looks kind of crazy, especially if the data doesn't support it. You're just kind of throwing things into the wind. And even it looks confusing to me sometimes also when I see like, oh, we just created new highs, new highs, new highs. Eventually it has to drop, but you don't really know when it's going to drop depending on what's on your charts. So I rather just, until I figure out if there's something that's consistent that can get me into those trades, I rather just be patient and be flat. You know, I'm not bothered by flat at all. At all. So we'll just deal with it and be patient. That dropped. Point of control just dropped. I wanted to see it stay in the wick if I was going to take this sale, which I was looking to, but point of control dropped too low. Good morning, Pred. How are you this morning? I like that mindset. I'm not bothered by flat at all. But you know, especially in the beginning of my trading journey, I lost enough real money where I don't need to sit here and lose virtual money just to prove any kind of point to anybody. That's another reason why I kind of like just getting on and getting off. Like after that hour and 10 minutes, first of all, I don't want to sit here for much longer than that. But also, I feel as though when you're streaming, sometimes you just take stupid trades just because you're there, and you're trying to, especially like, let's say you take trades off stream before you get onto the stream. Now people feel like you're not being transparent. Why do you have all this green on your screen, but you haven't taken trades while we're sitting here? Are you really actually trading? Are companies just giving you profit? Like, it's just too much, right? And I don't want to sit here bored. I'm one of those people, if I am bored doing something, I'd rather just be bored doing nothing. So I could just go chill, lay in my bed, throw on some YouTube and chill. You know what I mean? So I just feel like if something doesn't happen in that hour and a half, it just was not supposed to happen for me, right? And like I told y'all, there are times where I'm sitting here journaling. It might take me like an hour to journal. If it's a really volatile day with a lot of reversal bars, it might take me an hour and a half to journal. And in the process of that, because I'm usually watching either Nutty or Alpine's live stream, I might glance over like, oh my God, the market finally pushed out. Or, we pushed out of my consolidation zone or whatever. And guess what? I'm not even bothered. It could be annoying, don't get me wrong, but I'm not bothered because at least I'm not red, you know? Trying to be a sea of tranquility, no FOMO, period. You'll make so much better progress that way. And then you won't drive yourself crazy in the process of trying to get where you want to get because you're not doing crazy things, 12:39. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? You're swing trading outside the stream. Why you day trading? I don't understand it. But I also get that if you're not sitting there on the charts, because some people who trade overnight don't legit sit there on the charts the whole time. They will set and forget kind of thing. I think even Janelle might set and forget, like, all right, here's my bracket orders, or I'm in the trade, boom, whatever happens. So I get it. Like, there's no point. You can't really stream because you're not really there. So I get that, but it's still, to a viewer, they don't really care about that. If I'm here to watch you, whether it's to be entertained, whether it's to see your progress along the way, I can't see your progress along the way if all of your progress is happening off stream. And I understand why people are like that. I genuinely get it. And that's why for me, I take all my trades on stream. The only time I don't take trades on stream is if there's an account that renews the next day or something, and I'm just trying to push and I'm just tired of like being on stream. I just want to relax, especially if there's 30, 45 minutes in between trades. I've sat here long enough. I'm about to get off the stream because I can take my laptop into my bed, relax my back, and just take these last couple of trades, But aside from that, I just always been the person, I'd rather show everything that I'm doing so there is no question of transparency or validity or any of that, because it's not going to change once I'm consistently green and profitable and I'm getting payouts and stuff. Like, nothing's going to change. I'm still going to be here from 8:30 to 9:45, and I'll see you the next day. That's it. I had a mentor who used to say no position is also a position, period. You're a good little red. What when did you take trades? Were you in buys or sells? You said I forget, only with bracket orders, only watch the chart for setups. That's it. And once the setup is there, all right, I'm out. And that's how a lot of people are that trade overnight. Most people are not literally sitting there through each trade and things like that. Even if there's somebody who, doesn't necessarily swing trade or are in trade for hours, a lot of times, they might take a trade or two and that's it. They're out. They are out. Let's see. We have some counter trend divergence, but I don't really like this one in particular. Yeah, that was a trap. That's not what I'm looking for. All right, we do have news coming in 15 minutes. Oh, I just dropped. I have got to figure out if I can. I think so far I haven't found one I like. If we, all right, so volume is low on this swing up compared to this one. Even though there's more bars, you can see there's half the volume, right? So it's a pretty shallow pullback volume wise. If volume on the entry bar is low, we are reacting off of a level, and I missed that one. I was going to take the sell. I was worried about the point of control moving. But anyway, if the point of control is in the body of the candle, I don't really like it. But the point of control was in the wick on that one, which I wanted to get into. You saw I had the sell click, but I just didn't click it. Let me see if I would have gotten filled though. I would have. Oh man, that would have been the next trade for the day. And that right there would have put me into the trades. That's all right. Let me write on my chart. Missed. It's about to sell, click in. So the reason sometimes I'll like manually put the order with the buy click or sell click versus just already having the order there when the bar closes, like the automatic one, is if I see, well, this one, it kind of happened a little faster than I thought. But if I see too much volume, like let's say I want the point of control to be in the wick. If I see too much volume starting to accumulate in the body, then I know that the point of control has a high chance of flipping into the body. And if I look at my cheat sheet and I'm like, oh, I can't have it in the body, I'd rather for the bar to close and for me to sell click into it versus the order already being there. Because sometimes if I get into a trade that's invalid based on, you know, my setup criteria, a lot of times, baby, I have no time to even break even, you know, move my stop loss or move my take profit to break even, hoping that it hits that. A lot of times it's just gonna hit my stop loss. So sometimes I don't really want to chance it. But that one was just a miss, and it's all right. It's all right. All right, let's see. But that was a nice sell off of the bottom of the consolidation zone. We're trying to hold it. We are. We changed to the sell at 8:53 this morning. And you can see we've continued to react here. Almost each time we came to it, there's some kind of reaction there. So sales, but you got stopped out. I got you. P&L looking great today. So far, fingers crossed. So far. Damn. It would have been better if I was able to get into that trade, but that's all right. Be patient and wait for the next one. That was a nice little 32 tick slap down. I'm only looking for 22. News in 10 minutes, so we still got time. But see, this sell right here is safe because this bar didn't create a new low, so there's still space. Now, let's say that this new low was a little bit closer, the pullback was a little bit more shallow, but the reversal bar didn't, you know, the previous reversal bar did not create a new low, then I will take profit at the new low, if that makes sense. Because we don't know how much further it'll push into a new low. So that is something that I do. Those kind of setups don't happen very often though. But when they do, I will just move the take profit to the new low and let it go from there. Man, I cannot believe I missed that. That was so perfect. So perfect. All right, there's new low again. So you can see I'm still marking out the value area high and low. I changed the colors based on which one it is so that when I'm going back to journal, I know which one it is. But I mean, obviously, if we're close to a new low, it's a value area low, but it kind of matters, especially on days where the levels are so close together because there's so much consolidation and stuff. But I'm still journaling if the entry bar does react off of the value area high or low, because I'm 99% sure the levels don't matter as well as point of control, but just in case, I am still journaling that just in case. Oh, yeah, that did happen. I didn't realize we were still in the opening 30-minute range. But we just reacted off of the bottom of it. See what kind of push we get. It's so crazy because today is kind of choppy, just like it was Monday and Tuesday. Monday I actually had setups and Tuesday I didn't, so it's kind of weird. All right, I just have to move some levels real quick. All right, we got a 1 bar pullback. Nice 50 tick move up. There's point of control. Point of control is pretty low. It's way closer to the value area low than it is the value area high. Five minutes till news. Which account is that? 2, okay. Got break even. Gotta take profit is no continuation, yeah. How many ticks are you trying to go for? Well, if you do take the continuation away and just kind of scalp it a little bit. Apple red and Nvidia green, so they playing tug of war with the market. Makes sense. All right, we're back at the change zone again. Let's see, there's about 4 points away. Pull back a little further than I thought. I would have liked to actually rotate from the bottom. There's VWAP here. There's the bottom of the consolidation zone, so I wouldn't have minded getting into that buy. And there was like 4 points between where the close of the bar would have been and the pivot level, which, remember, I'm only going for 5.5 points, so I wouldn't have minded, you know, taking that partial TP. But we pushed down a little bit further than I really wanted to see, so just wait a little longer. 1 minute and then I'll have to stop for news. All right, no longer looking for the buy. Zigzag just turned red. Too much seller pressure here, even though it is creating a higher low still. All right, I'm going to center this on the chart real quick, and then I will be right back, you guys. Who else is green today? Janelle, did you take any trades? I feel like you didn't tell us. Or I could be wrong. All right, still pushing new lows. Oh man. Eval's passed? Not yet. The one that was less than $400 away from passing that I ended up screwing the first day after I got to that point when it renewed. I think that very first day I lost like almost $400 on it or something. So I think the highest it got to being away from being funded after that was over $1,100 or $1,200, and maybe it was $1,100. I'm back at $600 away from being funded. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can pass this next week. That'll be my first Tradeify account passed. And then I do have one other Tradeify eval and one TPT eval. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I do know that when I start trading that Apex PA, one of the two, that I am going to add another Apex eval in there. And that way, you know, I could try to work on having another backup just in case, because you just never know. But at some point, you know, once I get to the point where I'm getting payouts and stuff, I'm just not going to add more accounts until I get payouts. So we'll see. Green by smudge. Under 231, you're shorting. Took a TP of only 600 pre-market. GC reversed back down. Ah, got you, got you. Still a nice trade though. But I know it's not your normal like 1K, 3K, but still a nice trade. Like you said, green is green. I did hear that gold had, was it yesterday as well that gold had reversed or no? I can't remember. But yeah, so I do want to be very careful, at least trading with Tradeify. Because once I get on a roll and I get a payout or two, I want to make sure that I don't make the mistake that Nutty made, where because he had however many payouts on the one account, even though he didn't have 5 accounts, he was taking live. And I just want to, I'm not one of those people who care about going live. I'm not trying to avoid live. That's not the problem. But if I know that after a certain number of payouts on an account, a single account will trigger you getting evaluated for live, I just rather make sure that I have the max number of accounts at a company and I max that payout number in each account at the same time, if that makes sense. So obviously after I get the first payout, that one will be one payout ahead of the others, but I'll just slow it down. Don't worry. Don't worry. So I want to make sure that I'm very strategic with Tradeify. I'm not really worried about Apex or Take Profit Trader, but I really do like Tradeify. Even they have had some changes lately, but it is what it is. I'm not bothered by it. You can't really I don't think you can withdraw into the buffer at all anymore, which was kind of what a lot of people liked with their accounts that they had prior to the changes, is that you could get to the buffer and withdraw. I think you could get to I think on a 50K account you could get to 2,100 in profit and withdraw 1,500 if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. Something like that. But a lot of people like that. But of course, because you have people that do that and blow accounts right away because they only have $600 in drawdown and it's a casino game to them, changes end up having to happen with companies. And it gets kind of annoying seeing people complain about it, because some of the people that complain about it are the reason why companies do what they do. I just don't understand. But yeah, because he lost those live accounts and then went back to 5 eval. So even though he went back, I think Tradeify just increased its max sim payout amount, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, whenever he would get the evals with Tradeify and he would pass them, because they increased the max payout in sim, he was able to take a portion of it as a payout, but the other portion of it had to go live. So it's just like with TPT, for instance, when you get to a live account, if you fail those live accounts, any of them, if you pass the eval, it automatically gets transitioned over to live, right? Now, people have to be careful though, and this is why I don't understand some people, because some people got live with companies and it was like, oh, this is just my junk account. A live account being a whatever happens account versus a sim funded is insane to me. But also, people did not realize that these companies, at the end of the day, they are trying to minimize their risk as much as possible. So I saw that somebody had failed their Tradeify live account twice and got banned from the company and was upset about it. How did you fail again? And it's not like, okay, I failed my live account twice over the last 2 years or twice over the last year. It's more like I failed my live account twice in the last 3 months. You should be banned. You should. Because when you think about it from a business perspective, if you truly are trying to find live traders, whether it's just to minimize your risk on the back end as far as sim funded goes, or if you just genuinely want to build a successful group of live traders that you can take your 10%, your 20% from, you don't want somebody that's blowing accounts like that. But, you know, a lot of these people don't value live accounts because some of them have never had to put up their own money. Let's start there. And then other ones, they still look at it like, oh, well, but it's a live account from a prop firm, so who cares? No. Well, you do because now you're banned. So better to get started with the 5 live. Exactly. I'd rather just get started with all of them at the same time and just kind of leave it at that, honestly. I just think that's better long term. All right, we are going to end up, it's not a continuation, it's a trap attempt, except they said, I'm going to use it as I want and not really be serious about it. Exactly, Amelia. Gold reverse during power hour. Reverse back down. Oh, nice. That's quite some movement. Yeah, Amelia, my biggest issue with influencers as a whole, not just in the trading space, but obviously also in the trading space, because that's the space that we're in, is I don't like do what you do, right? Do what you do. But when you influence people and you know you have that capability, you know you have that title, and you know you have that quote unquote power to influence people, I think it's absolutely 100, 1000, 1,000,000% crazy for you to be okay with saying certain things and doing certain things that you know hurts the company. Like, don't get me wrong, we're here to get as much out of these companies as we can from a financial standpoint, right? But we also need the company to be healthy financially in order to be able to pay us. So just like, for instance, when Apex came out with Apex 3.0, and you know, there was the whole thing of, if you hit the 30% P&L, don't worry, we're not going to deny your payout, da da da. Somebody just wrote on one of my YouTube videos from a year ago, almost a year ago, saying, well, I breached now this person said they don't think that they breached it, but I had another person that said that they breached it only by a couple of dollars and I got denied. They said I wouldn't get denied. Okay, well, first of all, Apex 3.0 came out, I think, last November. You don't think in the last almost year that people have been exploiting that? Of course they have. Because influencers, oh, don't worry about it. You can keep breaching it. It's fine. You're not going to get banned. You're not going to, you know, they're not going to deny you. Like, just don't worry about it. Just keep trading. Don't say stuff like that, because people take it literal and they do it. And then you wonder why things become more strict. Stop. I just don't understand the need and the desire to exploit things. I don't. That ain't just in trading. That's just everywhere. I hate people who exploit game shit. I'm irritated with 2K right now because people are exploiting shit that shouldn't even be in the damn game. It's just stupid. But I don't understand why people feel the need to exploit shit. You know, yes, we understand that the companies are here to make money, and no company is for the trader. I don't care what they say. You can't be for the trader, by the trader, when you have created a business that only thrives off the failure of traders. Okay, so that's already stupid to begin with, right? But if we know that they have to continue to stay profitable in order to pay us, the least we can do is not say things that encourage people to exploit shit. That's the least we can do, you know? The least. Who got banned from live? It's not the person I'm talking. No, somebody on Twitter showed it that they got banned because they blew their Tradify account, their Tradify live account twice. You should treat that live as if it's a personal account. They should, but they don't. But see, Janelle, I think the other thing is people feel like, well, shit, I got 5 of them. But a lot of people aren't even trading 5 live accounts at Tradeify because they made the same mistake that Nutty did, where they got too many payouts on one account before the other ones caught up. But either way, it's just when I really watch other streamers. If I disappear, just know Diego is focusing on his trading. Diego, you sound like me. I be telling my friends, if I disappear and I'm not talking to you, it's not you, it's me. I'm just focusing on myself and my peace, and I just don't want to interact with people. Also left all of their streams. So what are they gonna do? Sue me? Okay, I'm weak. But yeah, Diego. No, it's not the person that we were talking about though. But that person has blown their Tradeify live accounts too. I think Nutty at one point, I think he was close to, I don't know if he still has that live account actually. I don't think he's talked about it. And I don't think I pay attention to his accounts on his stream either. Like I don't look at all the different names of the accounts and stuff. But I know at one point they locked him out until he met with the coach. And I think he had to meet with the coach like twice or something. I don't know. I don't remember. You guys can always, okay, good. No, let me see if I saved it on Twitter. It would have had to been a long time ago. Let me see. Let's see if I can find them. Because I don't remember the person's name. Oh. Damn, I can't see. 5 ban. Damn, I can't find it. I can't find it. If I find it, I will let you guys know. I thought I saved it. Actually, hold on. Let me see if I have it in my screenshots, because I feel like, or did I say something to, maybe I inbox Nutty about it. Let me see. Here we go. Found it. So damn, I didn't screenshot the person's Twitter though. I only screenshot the email that they got. So this was August 24th. So the guy blew his second live account, because I remember I reached out to Nutty and I was like, hey, I don't know if you saw this, but this trader is now banned from Tradeify after blowing his second live account. I don't know if it's a universal rule or what. He said that he had tech issues that made him go on tilt, and I said, just wanted you to be careful since it's also your second live with them. And so the guy got an email that says, hi, Manuel, but I know his Twitter name is not Manuel. I do know that for sure. But it says, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to inform you that your Tradeify Live account has been permanently closed due to recent trading activity. After careful review, we have determined that we cannot offer you trading services going forward, including live accounts, simulated accounts, or the option to purchase new accounts with Tradeify. We deeply appreciate the trust you have put in us and your willingness to trade with us. Unfortunately, after careful review of your second attempt in trading a live account, we will not be able to continue this partnership with you. We wish you the best of luck in your future trading endeavors with other platforms. And that was it. Yeah. But it wasn't, I don't think it was somebody that like is popular on Tradeify or on Twitter. I think that that person's post went a little viral, you know, in the trading community, but that's kind of it. Do much better when I'm not watching anyone because I'm 100% focused on watching together. So starting Monday, I'll be away from stream. That's okay, Diego. We are absolutely okay with that. Just make sure that you're still checking in with us on Discord, posting your P&L and stuff, you know? That's it. But no, I totally get it. I definitely do. Like a lot of times, if the market is kind of boring, I might have somebody stream up, but I don't, like, I'll just kind of listen in a little bit, but I don't really interact, even when I'm journaling, right? Because I want to hurry up and finish my journaling. I don't really type in the chat that much unless it's something that I just feel like I need to say. Like, for instance, sometimes I'll hear Nutty like, what is the market doing? Or something like that, or it's not moving or something. And I'll be like, hey, you know, I noticed a resistance zone at such and such, you know, or something like that. Or if he says something crazy, or if he starts playing that damn Ben and Rose, then I'm going to type in there, please help my ears or something. But aside from that, I definitely understand, like, you have to be able to concentrate for sure. In Discord, I'm always there, period. All right, let me show you guys the accounts. We made some more progress, which I love to see. So far, I've been green all week, even though I haven't been able to take a whole lot of trades. And so far, I've only lost one trade the entire week, and that was on Monday. That was that one trade I actually wasn't even supposed to be in. And why is my data lag going up? What is happening? Oh, okay. But yeah, so far a good week. Let me show you guys this. Push the wrong button. All right, so this is what the accounts are looking like. We are $600 away from being funded on this Tradeify account, which is nice. And I'm pretty sure both of these are with the old rules, because I have not bought another account since the new rules were implemented. I'm quite sure. I could be wrong. Maybe this one is a new one. I'm not sure. But either way, the brand new TPT account that I started yesterday, we're $200 in profit on that one. And then remember, the first trade that I took actually didn't even copy. So basically these two accounts only have one trade on them. It's just this one was 2 contracts instead of 1. And then this account did have the 2 trades. And then also, you know, I did miss the one trade that I thought I was trying to sell. Well, I was trying to sell click into. I didn't know if the point of control was going to move or not, which would have invalidated the trade. But even though, you know, based on my criteria for entry where I can't take divergence that's created by new highs and lows, I can't take pullbacks or even trend divergence that's going back towards the new lows, which is what we were doing the majority of the session. The fact that despite that canceling out so many opportunities for trades and me still being able to get 2 trades in that I took plus another one that, you know, I kind of missed out on, I'm 100% happy with today. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go journal, try to see if I've collected enough data from those 2 like nuances where I can feel confident taking some of those trades. If not, again, it's fine. I'd rather just be flat and wait for the market to do what I want it to do, and we'll just go from there. Yes, thank you guys. Green is good. Green is good. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.